Hello and welcome. My name's Naomi Heffernan. I'm founder of women's online community and athlete, and I am a Nike trainer. And I'm here with two, I'm going to say, absolute legends in the game.
Wow.
We have Nicholas Denby and Daniel Williams.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the big intro.
Well, Nick, first of all, tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you?
I think probably people know me more from being co-founder of Slevin. So Slevin is a functional fitness, CrossFit hybrid gym in Vauxhall. Grew that out for the last 7 years and started another company called GymSync a little over a year ago. Co-founded that with a few others. And that's why we're chatting today.
And Dan?
So yeah, most people know me as founder of WIT Fitness. Obviously, that's been my main kind of play in the fitness industry, but I've been an entrepreneur since I was 21 years old. I've had a few businesses, WIT probably being the biggest one. And in the last few years, I've been consulting in the sector. I've got a few small investments in companies in health and wellness, and met Nick properly a couple of years ago, and been introduced to GymSync over the last year.
And that's exactly what we're here to talk about, GymSync. So I'm going to say I'm a GymSync athlete and enthusiast. I think I've done pretty much every GymSync since it started. So nice to see you both again today.
Yeah.
we were both at the track.
All three of us were at the
Battersea.
track. Yeah.
Yeah, BCC.
Yeah. We're all GymSync athletes, hybrid athletes. We kind of tend to do a lot of training together now. So I think we know each other pretty well.
We do. You actually came to my class a couple of years ago now. That's how we first met. Maybe
Yeah, that's
18
nuts.
months.
2 years? No, it was last year. A bit over.
Just
yeah.
over a year.
Yeah.
And you haven't been able to get rid of me ever since.
No.
Really.
No, you saw my Slevin t-shirt, you're like CrossFitter. Oh no,
Yeah.
Pete was wearing a Rogue t-shirt, so that's probably...
I was like, oh, you two do CrossFit, don't
Yeah,
you? And you went, oh, I actually have a gym.
Yeah. That's how I introduced myself to you, yeah.
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 You went, come down. And I came down and trained.
And then you've never left since.
Yeah,
No.
you invited me to a bodybuilding sesh.
Yeah, that was good.
Then BCC.
And BCC, yeah.
And then you asked me to come and MC for GymSync.
Pretty much. Or one of the hybrid races we were being running at Southern.
That was it.
So yeah, I think we go back. It feels like a longer than a year. But yeah, we all work in the space, or we all kind of highly invested and involved in everything that's going on in the space, whether it's like we both come from CrossFit backgrounds, moving now more to where kind of this hybrid space is, which is kind of where GymSync is going as well. So it started off at Barry's, moved to some sort of bodybuilding sesh, and then hybrid, and then we're doing all this GymSync stuff together and going to the track in the morning, and I don't know what else we're doing.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of it. It's the community, and
Yeah.
it brings people together. And Dan, you've done pretty much every GymSync since it started.
I think I do them twice or three times. Yeah.
Each time.
Until I get
Until he wins.
at least in the top three.
Yeah.
At least I get slightly close to New Wave and Fraser Bent. But no, I do a lot of GymSync. I do a lot of everything. People that know me too much. I don't think we've partnered in GymSync because obviously we've partnered for High Rocks.
Yeah.
And we're doing one, I think, in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, is it?
I think it's in 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks.
It's at least 3. We're doing
Which one are
Birmingham.
you doing? Birmingham. Oh.
Birmingham, yeah.
Exotic, yeah.
Very exotic. Very exotic. Not quite as exotic as Malaga last year, but
That was good. That was good.
That was a good one.
We broke the 1 hour.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
buzzing about that.
Yeah.
I barely did any of the stations because
No, but
I had to keep up with him on the runs. It was
you were great.
Thanks.
We've all been hybrid athletes since that was a thing.
Yeah.
okay. So we're here to talk about GymSync, but for those out there that haven't competed, haven't done GymSync, are hearing this for the first time, what is it? What is GymSync?
So GymSync is a turnkey erg racing event that is run at gyms across the country on any given weekend. So we have 5 event weekends. Gyms across the country run the same workout at their gym. It's erg based, so concept 2 bike ski row with either burpees over a box or burpees over a line, and any combination of teams. So we run teams of 2, 3, and looking at running teams of 4 in November for the next event. So basically, your gym in Maidenhead can run the event. We can run it here at Slevin. Dan's gym in Plymouth can run the same workout. Him on Friday, me on Saturday, you on Sunday. We can all compete against each other on like one shared leaderboard. Not only is it like an event, but we also provide all the tech, the marketing, everything for the gyms to run the event. So we're basically making it frictionless for them to put it out to their members, charge their members, or not charge their members, bring in leads, bring in referrals. And our big lofty goal of the event itself is to basically like increase fitness in the UK, like increase the fitness market, make it bigger, just from the ground up.
Yeah. So, I mean, the hybrid space is just growing. And I think that's why GymSync, for me, is so amazing, because it's so inclusive.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it. It's body weight, movements, and ergs.
Yeah. I think where we came up with the idea was really, I was working with a gym up north, a guy called Chris Sewell, who owns Apex Ability Gym. And we were looking at doing like a cross gym kind of competition. We're both CrossFit gyms, but then we're like, okay, we want to kind of include more people. What's your space like? What's my space like? Oh, what are the weights? What is scaled RX? And we basically just then started to kind of whittle it down to this concept of like, okay, why don't we do like just ergs, right? And then we kind of just kept developing the idea and thinking, well, we run the CrossFit Open every year. There was 1 year where they did overhead barbell walking lunges, or they did like shuttle runs. And you're like, well, how is a gym, I've been to a gym in Paris where it's in a basement, CrossFit Louvre, like how are they going to fit any number of people to do that sort of thing? And so the concept kind of started to roll from there, and we thought, well, what are the issues that we need to solve here? Is like, okay, well, one is how do we get this event into every gym, right? So that doing like kit that can be in every gym, so whether it's small or large, which is how we came with the idea of erg racing. So everyone, it's quite like footprint wise, it's not going to take up too much space. Another issue that we all know about from CrossFit and the Hyrox worlds are judging. So you've seen the Hiller, with his wall balls. You've seen, the issues that they had at the quarterfinals, or just with all these Hyrox events with people doing a push press for a wall ball. And at the end of the day, if we're going to have a competition and we want a gym or an average member to be able to judge something, it needs to be quite simple. So ergs kind of tick over for themselves. All they have to do is read a monitor, and then we do burpees either over a line or over a box. So it's super easy to judge. It's more about counting reps than it is about standards. So that was kind of like the first issue that we needed to solve, which was for the gyms themselves to be able to run it and have a fun, accessible competition. And then the second issue we had to solve was, how do we help these gyms run these events? And we all know Slevin from the events that we run, and we've run all these styles of events. We know how to fit people in. One of the amazing questions we always get from, say, a community, not that you've done this, but a lot of communities will come to us and want to run an event at Slevin, and they say, well, how many people can we fit in here? And it's like, well, it depends what you're doing. If you add a barbell into it, it's going to change how you run the event. If you're going to, what sort of movements are people running in and out? Are they burping? Are they jumping, etc.? So what we did with GymSync was just find this turnkey like product that we can now just put into every single gym. As long as they got the ergs, we can run the event. And if they have a lot of ergs, they can run it at scale. Our next event, we're running waves every 17 minutes. So if you have 5 or 10 of these ergs, you can run quite a lot of people.
And basically any gym can sign up to it, right? And there's a leaderboard, and everyone inputs their scores, kind of like the CrossFit Open.
It's kind of like the CrossFit Open. It's like the CrossFit Open, but we're giving power to the gyms more. Whereas the CrossFit Open is more about a qualifier for the CrossFit Games, and it's the start of the CrossFit season. Whereas this is more like we run 5 events a year, and we can have the gyms really celebrate like their own gym. They can run it on the day that they want. They can make money from the event, which I think is like the biggest difference between us and the CrossFit Open. So that $20 that our members at Slevin pay to do the CrossFit Open, they're paying CrossFit.com. And I think that is a big difference, right? And if we can help gyms make money, whether it's through ticket sales or say bringing in leads or referrals, and they discount it for their members, then I think that's a win-win for everybody.
And Dan, you've recently come on board with GymSync. What's your involvement with it? Why have you come in now? And
so I'm coming in as chairman and sitting on the board with Nick and the team. I've come in, so I've seen it evolve over the last, I think, 9 months, 12 months. I've obviously done every one, but I've also seen the growth of the event from 11 as a gym to kind of 90 plus gyms. And I think the reason I've got involved is, one, because I've been asked, 2, because I love the concept, but 3, it's exciting because it's infinitely scalable. And I think Nick just touched on the fact, and you did, that the CrossFit Open is great for us because it's a proof of concept. And at its height, there was 350,000 people paying $20 to do the CrossFit Open. And what GymSync does is that it's, in my opinion, more scalable than CrossFit because, 1, it's got the ergs, and 2, as Nick alluded to, the gyms are getting revenue for it, whereas the CrossFit Open went to CrossFit.com. So I think that's the beauty of GymSync, and also it's not restricted to CrossFit affiliates. Obviously, the beauty of CrossFit for their growth initially was the protection of their intellectual property, but the negative to that is you can't do CrossFit in other facilities, whereas GymSync you can do in large scale chains, be it Lifetime Fitness in America, Pure Gym here, hotels, offices, you can do it anywhere. So it is corporates. Yeah. So it's infinitely more scalable than a concept that's already proven. So for me, it's super exciting.
It is cool because I'm getting my community to get involved.
Yeah, on Sunday.
And on Sunday. Yeah. And some of them have never competed in anything like this before. Yeah. I think it's an amazing entry-level competition for those everyday athletes. But then the workouts can also be so grueling that they're so good for the elites as well. It's not like they're easy workouts, but they're so accessible.
No. Simple isn't easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it across the leaderboard. Like, people are getting really competitive, especially in London.
We were talking about Fraser and this whole beef between New Wave and Fuel. Which
I can't wait for their one-on-one duel at some point. Yeah.
Well, what was it? There was controversy around it. The ergs weren't calibrated correctly, right? But yeah, I think there should be. I mean, do you think there will ever be gyms against gyms, like like everyone does it in their own gym, but will you bring them together?
There's the potential for so many things where we can do in-person events, we could do gym versus gym rivalries, we can do so many different things with the concept. And as we roll out the tech, and we'll talk about it in a bit, as well as like what we want to do like going forward, is like the opportunities are unlimited because we can create these narratives. We can, New Wave they think that Fuel cheated or they don't believe it. Well, let's get some cameras. Let's get everybody into a room and let's do that same workout again. And it'd be some fantastic content that I think everybody would be interested in.
Yeah. And by the way, they didn't cheat.
They didn't cheat. I was there.
They at Fuel are just absolutely
They're absolute animals.
They're sickos. They're erg monsters.
Yeah. Just going back, I think, to what Dan was saying about the CrossFit Open as well, is I think immediately some people might sort of position it as being almost a competitor for CrossFit, but we absolutely don't see it that way. Like, we just see it as, we can help CrossFit gyms, we can help all sorts of gyms, we can help people get into fitness. And the more people we get into fitness, more people we get into gyms, we can get them to do CrossFit. I mean, I know both Dan and I, we started running, we both ran CrossFit gyms, and probably that's where our love of functional fitness came. And I think the market has shifted somewhat, but the more that we can get people excited about these events, and, the CrossFit Open will still be a thing, and then GymSync can still be a thing. They're just different ways of expressing and having fun with your fitness, really.
Yeah. And actually bringing Dan in from that background, quite a similar background, is cool, because you've both got expertise in different areas, right? Dan, you're coming in as chairman, but what are you bringing to the table that perhaps Nick doesn't have to
A
help
lot.
scale?
Experience.
No, I think
Didn't want to say, but
I think Nick is sometimes a bit harsh on himself, but I think I've actually we've also got some of the same traits, which like you basically said then. So we both understand the sector like inside out. So we're both authentic to the sector. Like when we speak to the consumer about GymSync, we practice what we preach because we're passionate about fitness. We're passionate about getting people into fitness, and especially passionate about getting beginners into fitness. So I think hopefully like Nick saw that side of me first, and then I guess with regards to what I bring that potentially he doesn't yet is that I've scaled a business to 25 million plus valuation before, and I thoroughly believe that this business has got that potential, if not more. And there's a lot of challenges that come with that. We're raising money at the moment, and once you raise money, you have other stakeholders in the business than yourself. I've had a vast experience of managing that in all three of the companies I've owned. So hopefully I can help there. And I think Nick is a real blue sky thinker, which is really important as a founder. You've got to have that blue sky thinker, but hopefully sometimes he might need me to like rein him in a little bit, and basically focus on what is winning, and what generates revenue and what's going to create short and long term value. Because the beauty of GymSync is we could literally go off in like 5 or 6 directions. So I think it's Nick, he's like super passionate, relentless when he goes after something, and this is a gut feel more than anything. Sometimes it might need me to say that's a great idea, but look at how much this is generating in revenue, we should stay here. So it's like it's probably that strategic focus.
It's true. I think it's true. I mean, like my team had to tell me today that they didn't want to do this event over Halloween, which was some sort of beer mile around Battersea Track and everyone dressed up and stuff. And they're
that
like,
sounds good.
It sounds amazing. Yeah, but
they shut you down.
But I get it, because we run so much stuff, and we're like, look, we need to just focus on the things we're good at and use our resources. And we'll probably do it in the summer because it just sounds like so much fun, like teams of 4 running around a track, but like all dressed up. And
it does sound really,
it does sound fun, and that's what I love about you, Nick. You're so passionate about the community. BCC, for example, on a Thursday, just a group of mates getting together.
Boring cardio club.
Boring
so people
cardio.
know what that is.
It's the kind of cardio that you find really boring on your own, but with people it's easier. And now we're all doing track together. But GymSync also, it's all about the community. I mean, like I love it because I love just coming down, working out with my friends, and just being together with people that are just the same as us. But is there anything about GymSync that surprised you about the community?
Surprised me about the community? I not necessarily surprised, but I think the thing that I love about it the most is how every community is different. And, like Slevin is so vastly different from like what WIT was, or like your inner athlete community, or whatever, like gym. Like you remember when we went down to Fuel and the difference of vibes between the Friday night at 7 and Fuel on the Sunday, and neither was better. They were just different. And being able to celebrate all these different communities and connect us up in all these different ways, I think that is like the special bit about GymSync.
Yeah, because the only other way, or the only other time that other gyms would get together to compete against each other would be at a physical competition like turf games or a CrossFit competition. But actually we are still all doing it together because we're doing it. Yeah, you might be at your gym and you might not be physically present together, but it's all happening across the same weekend and everyone's looking on the leaderboard at the gym. So it does feel like this connection piece, this community, and the fitness industry in London is amazing, but also it's national, right? Is there plans to take it global?
International. Yeah, so we have a gym in Australia running the event. So Snake Athletic in Tamworth, Australia is running it. We got a gym in Mallorca that Dan was at probably a few days ago when you're in Mallorca, called Choice Training Club. Rob Martin. Have a gym in Ireland that sometimes runs it. So we're definitely looking to scale it international. And I think what Dan was saying is the possibilities are endless, and I think that's why Dan is here to kind of rein us in. But I think pretty quickly we realized with the resources to go international, we need to basically nail the UK first, get the UK just humming, and then we can look at where we want to go with the concept, because there are so many different things to look at, just like prizes, partners, languages, what's our strategy in each market, how does each market work, for example. So and I think the more we bring on partners, the more like investment we get, then just the easier it is to scale it out, obviously across the UK, but then whichever market. So
I think the UK is one of the most mature fitness markets in the world anyway. Like, we're a small country, but there's so many people train. There's so many gyms. We're so densely populated with gyms. Aside from, we're more densely populated than the US, but aside from like Australia and the US, maybe countries like Brazil, like the UK is a place to be for fitness. So you can generate so much revenue in our industry here. But like Nick says, I think the natural progression would be abroad. I'm sure there'll be some organic reach, but there's so many ways to go into other territories through license deals, things like that. So there's a lot of potential there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, is that why you think investors will be excited? Like, what else do you think they'll get excited about the concept?
I think they'll get excited about what I'm excited about and what I've mentioned already, in that it's really infinitely scalable on a much larger scale than other businesses have done. I also think that this it's not a new thing for gyms to compete in a competition remotely and on the same weekend. It's people have tried to do it before, but what Nick and team have done is they've found a concept and nailed it, and they've backed it up with tech to support that scale. So they've kind of done what people have been trying to do, and I just think it's really scalable really quickly, which investors obviously interested in. If you invest kind of an amount of money, you want a 5 to 10x return within 3 to 5 years, which I believe GymSync can give these investors. And I just think there's so many opportunities for diversity of revenue outside the current model that we don't need to mention today, but it's kind of it's an infinitely scalable model, which is super exciting for investors.
And what are GymSync looking for within investors, like specifically?
Ability to scale. So I think what we've done in the past year is nothing short of phenomenal. I think and that's just me, Flo, and our tech team basically bootstrapped it for this last year. So we've got to, I think, almost 90 or close to 100 gyms now that either run the event. The Team Aretta's guys, so our tech partners, have done a fantastic job in stripping out everything that we needed and putting new features in and improving the technology, and myself and Flo, who came on last year, she must have started with 5 to 10 hours, and then we just built it. And and we've seen with very little activity, we get traction, but it's, when we're stretched in so many different directions, trying to do all these different things, all these different roles, the investment is just going to help us, hire more marketing, sales, account managers, tech teams, like junior developers, QAs, everything. And I think then it's just, we'll be able to really see the company hum and really push it out to like across the UK, hopefully in a much quicker way.
I think an important thing to mention is that the guys at GymSync are making money. Like, it's rare for companies to seek investment when they're generating profit. So as in, they're generating good revenue, they've got a good amount of gyms on there, they're paying themselves. This is, believe it or not, it's quite rare when you raise money in that strong position. And they actually don't need to raise money to scale. But like a concept like this, if you bring investors on board, you got the ability to scale, like supercharge a business, which is, I think, what they'll do with the resources that Nick mentions. And it's not a significant amount of money. So for investors, again, it's a really exciting prospect to get involved with.
I mean, competing is getting more popular anyway.
Yeah.
I think with the rise of high rocks, for example,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of everyday athletes that are now just coming in and trying out a competition for the first time, who may have been scared to do something like CrossFit. This is almost like a gateway, I think, into competitive fitness for everyday athletes, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I think so. I think, it is super simple, but it also, if you're a more advanced athlete like yourself or like Dan, it's difficult because it just means you can put more effort into it. But also if you're a newer athlete, it's going to be just as difficult. So on the relative scale, it's going to be the same for everybody, and you don't have any technical movements that are going to kind of muddy the water there for you. So, yeah, we just see this as kind of this grassroots level competition that is then going to feed into so many other things. So it's not going to take the place of any of these other competitions. What it's going to do is bring more athletes into your Hyroxes, your Athics, your CrossFit, all these hybrid events that are springing up all over the shop. And we really see it as like a mass market event. This is, we can be getting rugby players, football players, cricket clubs, rowing clubs, all sorts. So anybody that's interested in fitness, we can get them involved in these events, get them down to gyms and get them training at these gyms or just showing up for these events.
Yeah, because the workout, it's like 20 to 30 minutes. It's not it's not a long workout. It's definitely not an easy workout.
No.
I've done all of them.
Yeah.
But a really quick workout. It's not, going to take hours out of your day.
No.
You're not going to have to spend hundreds on tickets and hotel and flights to get to your competition. You can just go to your local gym, get it done, get on a leaderboard and have some fun.
Yeah.
So Dan, you've done pretty much every single GymSync, right? So you're already like an advocate for GymSync anyway, just as an athlete, and your connection with Nick. But why have you come on board now with GymSync?
So yeah, I've done it like you. I've done every GymSync since the start. So yeah, fundamentally, I just loved doing GymSync, and I've done. I think have I done them all at Slevin? I've done them at Slevin, Isha. Yeah. This weekend I'm doing it at Manor. So I've also like been around different gyms and seen it. So I haven't just seen it at Slevin. So I've seen how like scalable it is in other gyms that get behind it. But I think I was a fan already. And why have I come on now? I've come on now because firstly, obviously, I've got to know Nick and Tim. And I was super impressed by them. Like as an investor or chairman or coming onto board, you need to be impressed by the founders. And Nick is really he loves it when I say this, but he is relentless in that, and we all know that if he wants something, he goes after it. But that's like what I've done in my career. Like to be an entrepreneur and to be successful, you can't sit back on your ass. Like you need to chase it. And Nick certainly does that. And I think, and it's really interesting to see how Nick and Tim work as a team as well, and how the whole gym at Slevin works as a team, because that's what they'll bring to the GymSync business. So I was really impressed by them. The more I got to know the concept and talk to Nick and Tim, the more I understood pretty quickly how it could scale. And like any board position or investor, I'm interested in businesses that can scale quickly and ones that I believe are going to get more people doing fitness, and GymSync like ticks both those boxes. So a lot of things got me involved, and I don't invest my time in many things because you spread yourself too thin, but this is really exciting.
It is exciting.
It is.
I remember actually when
everyone excites.
I remember actually maybe when you were doing your WIT. What was it, like Protein Studios? You're doing some sort of the launch,
yeah.
And I was like just chewing your ear off about it. Like, you were doing this thing, it's great. Like, I remember almost seeing your eyes go to the back of your head because I was just like talking so much about it.
I didn't.
Oh my god!
Well, because you started it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely came to the first one. I did it with Jess. I think.
It was probably like, oh my god, it was one that was definitely free. We maybe had like 8 gyms doing it, and you're like, I didn't probably know you that well at the time, and I
Yeah.
was just like, just telling you all about it, and then I was just the whole event for me was just going and talking to as many people as I could about GymSync. And
But
like,
that's what you do
yeah,
so well, though.
yeah,
And that's what's so impressive. And I think that's why, like, for anyone investing in this business, like, they've got to trust the founder, and you will do everything you can to help those people make money.
Yeah.
Because you're passionate about fitness, and you care about people getting fitter, and you're not driven by the kind of financial prospects of the business, and that's super important.
yeah. I think, I mean, I can speak for both of us, or the three of us, we just love it.
We do
Like,
love it.
But I guess when you're chasing that as just something that you really enjoy, and like, you know, it sounds corny, you talk about the journey, and like it's about the journey sort of thing, but actually that's the fun bit of all this stuff, is like the training. So it's like, it's not about the actual race, it's the actual, like, what we did this morning at the track, or the actual building of the business, and then the connections you make, and like everything around that. I think that's the stuff that really excites you, because there is no end goal to any of this stuff. I mean, there is, obviously, you want to make money, you want to be nationwide, but people are like, oh, Nick, congrats on where things are with GymSync. I'm like, we haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and but then I'm like, well, actually, like, okay, let's take 3 steps back. The last 6 months, we brought on the biggest sports brand in the world, Nike, like, onto this, like, and they've backed us, not just like, just with their brand, but like so much stuff, activating financially, just so much has gone into it. And that's kind of like a pinch me sort of moment, I think, which is just like super exciting. So yeah, sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you don't realize kind of how far you've come, but you know, I'm always just looking to the next thing, and that infinite game.
It does,
sort of vibe.
yeah, it does feel like every GymSync is just more elevated.
Yeah.
Every one that we go to,
Yeah.
you know, like next time there's a DJ, then there's the MC, which is me, by the way. You know, or we're going around to the different gyms and elevating it and creating a special moment for them. And I guess what's next? How are you going to elevate it even more and leverage brands like Nike and other brands, smaller brands that you work with?
I think there's 2 exciting things. I think the most exciting thing that's coming out, and check it out from this weekend, is the tagging system that we're putting onto the leaderboard. So we're now able to tag communities, brands, everything. So whatever you could think of, like mums or firefighters or whatever kind of categories, north versus south. So now we can do extra leaderboards that aren't just, say, the gyms versus the gyms. So at the moment, you compete in GymSync, you've got your gym leaderboard, then you got your overall leaderboard, and then we do like an average of all the gyms so we can find the fittest gym. But say I brought Caitlin from the Rocks Queens. We work together quite a lot. So we've basically given them a tag where all the Rocks Queens across the country can compete at all the gyms, one of the 50 gyms running GymSync. And whether you're in Manchester and London, you're all going to be on the same Rocks Queen leaderboard, and the Rocks Queens can then celebrate their community, right? So they're doing a little prize giveaway off the back of it. So 2 High Rocks London tickets, and that's going to help people get driven into gyms. It's going to get people activated, because you can do, like we were talking about before, rugby clubs, or you can do brands, you know, and you can do like athletes. So we could do Naomi Hef versus Tess. I'm team Naomi, or I'm team Tess, or, you know, whatever it is. So like I think the opportunities are endless in what we could do with that. And then I think it's super powerful for the brands as well, because then they can, you know, bring in all their coaches, right? So like, say a company like Optimum Nutrition's got like 700 coaches that are all across the UK. Imagine if all those coaches competed against each other and we facilitated that for them. I think there's so many cool ways we can take this tagging system.
That has actually blown my mind a little bit. Whose idea was that?
Cool,
the tech teams, yeah.
So cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, like this weekend, you're competing you're basically running your event like a gym, but you can have all your inner athletes just go compete wherever, and say Dan's an inner athlete and he's in Mallorca, he can go compete, do it in Mallorca, but then compete as an inner athlete or whatever category that he wants to as WIT. So you get all the WIT ambassadors together or something.
We should do that. We should do a WIT leaderboard, actually.
So how would one get a tag on there?
contact,
out.
just reach out.
Reach out.
Yeah, so we're piloting it this weekend with the Rocks Queens, and then we're going to go big on it for the next one. So we're already talking to communities, we're already talking to brands about it, and I think like it's just the ability to then scale digitally, but then also activate physically. So, you know, that a brand can then be represented between those events. And I think what we really want to do with GymSync is, as another kind of side quest I'm going to talk about now, is be a media company. And what are the stories that we can tell for the athletes that are competing, the gyms that are competing, the gym owners, the coaches. There's so many stories that we can tell at gyms. For example, the guys at Brigade in Kent, they've just opened their brand new headquarters. I'd love to go down there, interview them, show the UK what an amazing gym, what amazing community, and all the struggles and how they've scaled it from one gym, two gyms now, and they're now on their third gym, you know, and they're doing a fantastic job, Sam and Tom Jarrett. So there's 1,000 stories that we can tell, and we can use GymSync as a platform to do that. So like telling stories, getting brands to help us tell these stories, but then also how do we then show those stories off on the leaderboard, or what sort of narrative could we do? We could do mums versus mums or something, or around Mother's Day event, or I don't know. Like, the options are endless, and this is where Dan needs to come in and say, Nick, concentrate on this, you know. But
well, one thing I was going to say is not that is good.
Yeah.
That's not one thing that I would stop. But I think one thing he's touched on, which is really important, again, from like when we're speaking to brands or investors, is that they're working with Nike in year one. It's pretty impressive. But I've been involved in loads of brand partnerships to the extent that, you know, we used to have a relationship with CrossFit. We used to spend millions of dollars a year. So I don't know if I should say this, but I've been involved in some bad partnerships and some good partnerships. And I think what GymSync offer the brands is like something I've not ever seen before, and I don't say that lightly, is because they can scale quickly. They average 40 athletes per gym, which will go up next year. As soon as you get north of 100 gyms, they're accessing, you know, that's 4,000 people, immediately. To go to in-person events and access 4,000 people costs tens of thousands of pounds. And with GymSync, brands are getting access to this huge customer base where they can go to in person, or they can just stay remote and access them online. So I think it's a unique opportunity for brand partners. Nike is seeing how successful it is, and I think GymSync, they'll be able to leverage that for their own, you know, growth, but also for brands, small and large. It's great. It's like a great thing to be involved with.
Yeah.
So apart from Nike, what other brands do you have on board?
So at the moment we're working with Tenzing and Element, and Bullet, so digital marketing, Defiant, print services, and then I feel like I'm forgetting one, and PhD Nutrition as well. So our nutrition partners. So hitting like energy drinks, we're hitting electrolytes, and then obviously like nutrition. So, but we're in current discussions with a few brands for 2026, and I think Dan nailed it on the head there. Like, we're looking to work with people rather it be like a transactional thing and just be like, okay, here's some resources, go do it. We want to work with other teams, and we want to get involved in, like, we are a people business, so we want to work with people as well. And it's not just, okay, here's a logo, put it on your website, because that doesn't get people excited. Like, in a world where there's just everything, you're being thrown at with like content and offers and all this sort of thing. Actually, what's going to like get through all the noise is stuff that's authentic, stuff that is going to resonate with people. So, you know, if there's a cool challenge that we can come up with a cool brand, and just be like, oh, you know, let's get this famous athlete from the north and this famous athlete from the south, and then we can have like the north versus the south, and they're all competing, but then you're competing for your gym at the same time, and you got all these cool narratives. Like, how cool would that be? Versus just then being like, oh, let's work with this partnership, and here's a few cans of this, or like a few sachets of that. Like, that's definitely not the way like we'd like to work.
And do you think, like, obviously I'm a big advocate for Nike. I've been with them for over 5 years. So, I mean, the synergy is amazing, because like, I know you already, and I love GymSync, but also I'm a Nike trainer. And then the partnership happened. I was like, wow, my two favorite things right now.
Yeah.
And it just worked. But like working together and like you say, working with the people that you want to work with is so important. But how has Nike elevated that as well? Like, you've talked about the team and working with people.
Yeah.
What are they doing for you right now?
Everything. I was just, I couldn't be more thankful, I think, of Kerry and T on the Nike London training team. Like, they've just believed in us. I think, we went up to Nike HQ and presented everything with GymSync and kind of these big blue sky kind of ideas, and came out thinking, oh my God, like this was like what a life-changing moment, and it actually has been. I think we were there at end of March, beginning of April, and makes sense. They just dipped their toe in the water a little bit, and now they've just doing more and more and more and more, and they're coming out with ideas. I think we're gonna have like really cool gym packs, for example, so all the gyms will be able to have like branding that they can put up on their walls, and photo moments, and so like then gyms can show off their gyms and people can take pictures, and just things like that. And you just imagine the power of if it's like 50, 100 gyms doing the same thing like over a weekend, like that butterfly effect is going to be amazing. But you've seen it. There's like DJs, and now that we've had Metcon trials, and we've had branding and shoe prizes, and we helped launch the Metcon 10. We not only helped launch Metcon 10 in London, but like their big launch in Barcelona, and ran a competition as well. And like, I think that's what you were saying before. It's like, wow, I forget sometimes like how much we've done in the last 6 months, and it is unbelievable. And I just, those are the kind of partnerships we want to have, is like, I can message Carrier T, and we can work together on so many things at the same time as well.
Yeah, I mean, Barcelona was amazing. All three of us were out there.
Yeah, we all went
for the Metcon 10 launch, and it was epic.
Yeah,
GymSync put on an entire GymSync, like it was like a festival.
Yeah,
it was like four workouts.
Yeah, 4 workouts, and it was for them to trust us with such an important part of the whole weekend, which is a competitive part. And, despite what everybody thinks, we didn't put the teams together, and the GymSync team won GymSync, but that's just because Dan was probably on the team and he's the most competitive person in the world. But
we did win, but it was funny because the team with the elite CrossFit athletes just didn't believe it.
Honestly.
But we were all like small people.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened. But
it was funny though. But we didn't put the teams together. We put on the competition, and to be trusted with such a big moment for Nike, which was a shoe launch that they hadn't come out with the Metcons for over 2 years, and this wasn't just their launch of the Metcon 10s. It was their launch into the hybrid fitness scene, and they're coming back big this year. So I think it's really exciting to be not just the biggest sports brand in the world, but then have such close connection with the team at Nike as well. And I think that's the thing going back, is like, okay, it's not just this big sports brand. It's like we're working with people, and they're super excited about the project. I think as much as we are.
Like you're in the thick of it, and I think positioned so well with where Nike want to go.
Yeah.
And I actually think you're influencing the direction that Nike wants to go, because they're learning from you, and they're learning from us, because they haven't been in this space for a while. Obviously CrossFit, but the hybrid space, it's grown so fast, and it is growing fast, and like this is just the beginning, really. And GymSync, I think it could be as big as Hyrox.
Yeah, I agree. I think in different ways. I think like Dan and I have talked about like in-person events and stuff, but I think the GymSync events would be slightly different. I think the razzmatazz of Hyrox is going to be that thing, and they put on an incredible event. The logistics side of it is just unbelievable. But in terms of scale, obviously we can hit an infinite amount of gyms over a weekend, and it's just how quickly can we scale, I think is the like the issue on that.
So, for anyone back home or out there,
Back home.
Back home.
anyone
on their commute.
Anyone out there listening, wherever you are right now, and you've not done a GymSync, why should they do one? Sell it to them if you haven't already.
Test yourself on a leaderboard. Go to a gym, experience a community, train for it. Go for the vibes. I think like kind of what we were talking about. Every gym is going to be different. So you can, like Dan's done it about 3-4 different gyms. I've been to tons of gyms doing it. We're even running it at a competition this weekend. So there's going to be all these different vibes, and you can go and experience that. And you can do it on a Friday night, Saturday morning, Sunday morning. You can get on with the rest of your day. You don't have to like give up your whole weekend. And yeah, I think, test yourself against the world.
I think you've got to go out and try it, because there'll be so many people out there who want to do a competition, but even like a high roll isn't accessible to everyone, really. Yeah. So this is accessible to everyone, because everyone probably has jumped on a rower or a bike. And I think there's probably people that are, say, in a Globo gym and they were doing a rower and a bike workout. So they might even be doing GymSync workouts. So this is the best way is to go out down to a gym that does GymSync and get yourself in a competitive environment, because like Nick says, it's just a good vibe. And after that, as we know, like even though we're quite competitive, like we all started somewhere. We all competed at a first competition somewhere. And once you do it, you're like, what's so hard about that? Like it is intimidating, but GymSync's like removes the intimidation.
Yeah. I mean, I love competing anyway, and GymSync just it's for me, it's the perfect like Sunday afternoon, like go down to your gym, have a fun workout with your mates and just get competitive. Yeah. And I also love the frequency of it. It's not too often, but it's not, like twice a year.
Yeah.
And I think it's enough to get people excited about it. I get excited about it. Yeah. So it's teams of 2 this time. Is it going to be teams of 4 next? And I'm excited. I'm like, ooh, is it going to be teams of 4? Who's going to be on my team?
Teams of 4. Ooh. I think we're about 99% sure. So yeah, it's teams of 4 for November. I think we're going to end the year with a bang. It's be exciting because who do you bring into your team? How are you going to manage it? All these sorts of kind of operational questions. But then you can just imagine the vibes. It just means more gyms can get more people on the floor at one time. And, when you get all these people in a close space, you've got the music blaring. I think that experience is very special. And I think you have to experience it to know what we're talking about.
So you heard it here first. It's going to finish with a bang. Yeah. So get yourself signed up for November. Yeah. Teams of 4.
Nice.
Maybe us 3+1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we're gonna do auditions.
Yeah, a pair of Metcons, a wit top, and a Slevin membership.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, that's the prize?
Yeah, and inner athlete programming.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be
a
some
great prize. Yeah. Apply within.
Yeah.
Slide into the old DMs. And we'll go through the applications. So, Nick, where do you see the revenue coming from in the long run?
So our model is quite simple. It's transaction fees from athletes and gyms paying to run the events. Where we see to scale the revenue is going to be from brand partnerships, increasing ticket prices and the cost to run the events. But then we're looking at all sorts of things from like individual challenges. So say linking up ergs and doing a weekly challenge and athletes paying to do that. Online programming. We're also a B2B business, so we're looking at like what we can do through partnerships through gyms and helping gyms out with anything from equipment to coaching education to scaling their businesses. And there's really an unlimited opportunity and a lot of revenue streams you probably haven't even thought about. This tagging system that we talked about previously, what a great way to leverage things. So like, okay, if you're a community, you want to have your own leaderboard, how much does that cost? And we can start to do that. And it'll be free at the start, but there'll be so many ways that we can monetize the different things that we're doing.
From my perspective, I think again the beauty of GymSync is it's one of those great models where there's a sustained subscription revenue. So once you have X amount of gyms, you make X amount of profit, and then like kind of you control your own destiny. You can go in any direction you want. So I think they're already generating profit, like I said. So you get more and more gyms on, then you're making more and more money on subscription. Then you can kind of choose what to do next, and the tech they're building in the background allows them to do all the things Nick as mentioned, but they're kind of preparing for that whilst securing like subscription revenue in the meantime.
Yeah.
So GymSync would you say it's the first of its kind of this kind of competition? We kind of touched on, you've got the CrossFit Open and other online competitions, but as it is, and as you've explained it, are there any other competitors out there, or could there be others that start something similar?
Yes and no. I think we're obviously the first of its kind, where it's not a unique idea. We talked about the CrossFit Open and High Rocks and all these, but we've kind of taken these different ideas and created something new. Where I see competitors coming in, I see them being a year or two behind. I think where we've kind of grown this company is just being kind of what Dan was saying, was being relentless and being authentic. And I can pick up a phone and talk to any other gym owner out there and know exactly what they're going through, and we can just have a chat about gym ownership and then sell them the idea of GymSync after that. And I think if you're a big brand and you want to get involved, great, you could have a lot of razzmatazz and funding behind it, but then how do you actually contact that gym owner, and how do you get into their ear, and how could you convince them from a peer-to-peer way that I've been able to do it over the past year? And I think that would be the biggest challenge for any competitor coming into the market. And now that we've got gyms on board and we've got a proof of concept, we just hope now it's going to become just easier to have those conversations, because all these other gyms are already running successful events, and then the word is starting to spread.
I think what Nick alluded to there is key, because like most successful businesses, especially in the fitness industry, they're hyper local and they're hyper focused, and they're also authentic. So because Nick's authentic and he started hyper local in London and the UK, and he's hyper focused on what the business model is, but other businesses might try and enter the space, but they won't have what he has, which is authentic. They'll try and go too wide too quickly, and they just won't be authentic. And I think that's been proven in any sector, and I think that's why GymSync will stay ahead of any competitors.
You're actually both positioned really well, because you've both been there and done that. So with gyms, right? With Wit and with Slevin, so you already have that trust in, they will say, gyms that you speak to will surely be like, you get it.
Yeah. I mean, we're creating a network of gyms. I'm now connecting gyms up. I'm helping gyms buy ergs or hire coaches, or gyms calling me up and, how did you do this? How did you overcome this issue? Or just having a chat with them for 30 minutes about, hiring, firing, running programming, all these different like nitty gritty things about gym ownership. But then that obviously extends to, well, I'm running these events at my gym and they're successful and everyone loves them. So like, it's just like I'm authentically doing it. I'm not just being like, hey, go do this thing, but I'm not doing it. And people see straight through that, right? I think in this world, like it's very obvious.
That is what I love about you. You just want everybody to win. It's not about my gym against your gym and, competing, because ultimately you do have competitors, right? They are competing, especially if they're local to you.
Yeah.
But you just want everybody to be successful.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you are so successful in what you do.
I think, this is something I tell the gym owners as well, is different from like an affiliate model or a license model, where actually then there's no reason for gyms to really talk or connect, right? Because there's like, well, I run across a gym, but why are we chatting? Whereas like these events connect all these gyms over a weekend, and if you run a great event and Dan runs a great event, I run a great event, then that's just going to elevate GymSync, which then elevates your gym, you know. So like, have pride in what you do. If we all run a great event, we're all going to win, because it just means the concept will be more successful, more people will come to the gyms, etc. And it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. So yeah, we're all in it together, like, you know.
And remember, Nick is generating money for other gyms.
Yeah.
It's come from the problem and the challenges that we face in the UK with rising costs, rising rent, rising wages. And like Slevin have been so good at diversifying revenue streams, GymSync's become one of those, obviously on a different scale. And he's giving other gyms the opportunity to generate revenue. And I'm talking thousands of pounds a year. And like, he's doing that really because of purpose, not because he's chasing revenue himself. So that's why, again, that authenticity like shines through.
It's amazing. You're basically fixing a problem that gyms are going through.
Yeah, trying to in a specific way. Yeah, 100%. I can't solve their membership problems or anything, but hey, in running these events, and I talk to so many gym owners, never run an event. I don't know, like they don't know what this is the beauty of GymSync. Here's the workout. Here's the branding. A lot of gym owners don't even have their logo on their computer, and like, I have to help them do all that. And I've painstakingly done that with a lot of gyms. And, you know, it's been tough at times, but now we're kind of helping these gyms kind of put themselves out a little bit more. And our ultimate goal is to just have a central network. The gym, we hope, doesn't even need to market it, right? All we need to do is be like, GymSync's live. This is the next workout. Everybody pile in, and it's up to the gyms to set up that event, right? And what a great thing to do for the gyms. Yeah, obviously they'll have to market it within the gyms, but if we get it to the scale of like Hyrox, we've got tens of thousands of people doing it, then people will be coming from all over the place to come compete at your gym, and that's the goal.
Yeah, and I think for me, if I was in another part of the country for some reason, and there was a GymSync going on at the local CrossFit gym, be like, oh, boom, GymSync, I'll be there, and I'll go down, and it gives you a reason to go and visit other gyms and compete and get involved. And
I don't know if we've seen this yet, but maybe in London, maybe we got people now visiting different gyms through GymSync. It'd be good to know. But
that's
I know down in Sid Cup, they've leveraged the local rugby team, so now they get the rugby team in to do it, and then that's getting some of the rugby lads then who are starting to do CrossFit, and now Joe from Sid Cup was telling me how now he's got the guys that are doing his like training at his gym are now the fittest guys on the team, and everyone's turning their heads, you know. And it's, you know, I don't see that GymSync itself as the workout is what's going to be life-changing. I know it's life-changing when people walk into these gyms. So if we can just help people walk into these gyms through this accessible competition, then we're going to give them access to strength training, which will change their lives, right?
And so actually communities are coming to CrossFit gyms who would never have ever dreamt of going to a CrossFit gym, and they're entering from these other communities, like you say, rugby clubs. And actually then gyms are gaining members through GymSync.
Yeah.
So it's just then their membership base is growing off the back of this competition, which is amazing.
Yeah. Or you're visiting in Manchester for a day and you go and you spend 25 quid that you wouldn't at the gym. You know, that maybe you would have done something else, you know. So there's just so many ways we can look at it. And you know, with all the tech improvements and the tagging system and all these different narratives, is the bigger we can get this, then the more we can help gyms out. And I think that's my ultimate goal with the business. And Dan alluded it to earlier, is if I can help gyms make money or bring people in, then GymSync will be a winner. And like, if I just hyper focus on that, then the rest of it's just all noise, and it doesn't matter what we're doing on the other side of it. So how do we get more people into your gym? How do we make you more money? And then that's it.
So your blue sky, most audacious goal with this entire thing is for what? Every gym on the planet to be with GymSync?
I guess being in multiple countries, like international, like hitting, you know, the States, Australia, across Europe. But there's just so many things there's so many avenues you can go down, and like even if you just took corporates, say we just focused on corporates, we could have companies competing against each other. We could have commercial gyms competing against each other. There's so many roads you can go down, and somebody told me a crazy stat the other day. There's like 22,000 gyms that do Les Mills. 22,000 gyms. If you had 22,000 gyms doing GymSync, it's just like, it would be insane. You got 40 times that. It's like 800,000 people. It's like a ridiculous number, right? But why could we do that? Those sorts of numbers. Like there's no reason why not. It's just how do we scale it? And I think that's why we're bringing Dan in, is he's going to help us get to those kind of blue sky ideas, and he's done it all before.
Yeah, I think they're about to go on like a really special journey where they'll have like weekly, they'll have these amazing moments where they might see, you know, a gym in Australia doing it, a gym in South Africa, a gym in America that's being picked up without them marketing it. And I think it has the opportunity to spread globally really quickly, like if they stay like true to their, you know, core values and like their authenticity. And I think it's going to be really fun for them, and really they are about to experience that like special first 2 years. And you know, for me, they need to keep enjoying it, and I'm just on board to kind of help and direct where I can, but also enjoy the journey as well.
Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy
That's
the ride.
what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So any final words for those listening?
I thought those final words were quite good. Well, from my perspective, I'm honoured to be asked to join as chairman. It's been great getting to know Nick and Tim on a personal level. It's been really enjoyable doing GymSync. I love working with people that are getting other people into fitness and changing lives. And I'm really excited about supporting where I can on the next step for GymSync.
Yeah, I mean, I'm equally excited. I think like Dan is a legend of the industry and someone I've looked up to. I think, and most of us look up to him. Like especially in this like London fitness scene, is probably one of the key figures. I think you could say. I don't know anybody else that's as maybe like an Ollie Marchand type vibe, but like.
I've got a better
way.
rig than him.
Better rig. You're definitely a faster runner, but that sort of level to bring his experience and knowledge and connections. I think the connections is going to be a massive thing for us as well. It's humbling, but also super exciting, and just to have his backing and see his authentic kind of excitement behind the project is amazing. And I know I've already started because I'm always doing it, but I'm excited to get excited on this kind of the next phase.
And just listening to both of you makes me so excited, because I'm also a part of it.
Yeah.
And like just being here at the beginning with you guys, just like coming in as the MC, but also as an athlete and as a friend to both of you. It's so exciting, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm buzzing. So you two must be just like,
Yeah, it's super exciting.
So exciting. And also the team that you've got around you, like it's like we were saying before, it's about the people, and everyone that you've got working with you are your friends as well. I mean, that can also be tricky, right?
That's when it gets tricky.
Yeah, true.
And hopefully it's just plain sailing.
Yeah.
And you don't piss each other off, and hopefully you don't shut down too many of his blue sky ideas.
Like I said, he's about to go on a very special 2 years, which he knows because he's had businesses himself in the past. But this first 2 years, like I'm glad Nick says he's going to enjoy the journey, because it's hard to enjoy the journey when you take investment and you start scaling quickly. But you're right, he's got like his really good friends around him. Him and Tim are very close. Like Flo's exceptional, and I think they'll just have fun, and it'll be great.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And that filters down as well into the gyms and the communities. It's just a vibe.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both.
Vibe.
It's a vibe.
GymSync's a vibe.
GymSync's a vibe.
GymSync's a vibe.
So if you haven't signed up to GymSync, get yourself signed up for November.
This weekend.
This weekend.
This weekend. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. this weekend.
Yeah.
And then November. And
I'm at
then,
Manor, so this weekend, let's do it for Manor.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm
Manor are
emceeing down at
determined.
Manor, so we're all going to be there.
I'll be at 7.
Oh, okay. And then I'm at CrossFit 23
Yeah.
on Saturday.
They love it. They absolutely love
Can't
it.
wait to get down there.
George and Alex, great guys. They're also going on a new journey. They're building their gym up. They're going into a second bigger space, and they're a bit over a year into their kind of gym ownership journey, and they have been amazing representatives of GymSync, and I'm excited to have Nike down there and a DJ and everything. So it should be cool.
Nice. Big weekend ahead then.
Yeah.
So GymSync, get yourself signed up this weekend, teams of 2, male, female or mixed. See you there.
Cheers.
See you there.